Hello, everyone. Good afternoon to another session of the CEO CTO series. Uh, it's so nice to be back on campus. I am on campus, and it's wonderful to have that ambience and the environment of a campus again. This is, I think, if I'm not mistaken, this is the first session that we're having where we're actually launching it from campus. Yeah, it's still an online session. We've done this is our sixth one since its inception way back in June, and we've had a good ride on the CEO CTO series. With us today, I am very happy and very humble to have this gentleman on board, Mr. Gopi Ganesalingam from Mdec. And I think, Mr. Gopi, you're going to really bring in a lot of flavor to today's CEO CTO series in the form of a fire chat. We've had interesting characters on this series, and I know that you will bring in your flavor. And I know that Miss Mira, who's also joining us as the moderator, will add color to that session that we envisage this afternoon. There's a lot of people that are behind this whole enterprise uh, ambition that we have for APU. We started with Project Enterprise in March, and it's coming to an end on the 30th of October. And this webinar series, the CEO CTO series, was part of that Project Enterprise, which we have now enforced to continue into 2022 and beyond. And because of the success of the series itself, and I want to thank a lot of people, which is the Project Enterprise team, the EIR, current EIR, Dashnamurti, Mira for also moderating a lot of sessions, and the team that is working behind the curtains in terms of setting up a platform, coordination on the dates and times and things like that. Uh, I know your talk today, Mr. Gopi, is going to be a talk that will uh, raise the awareness of our students and staff members on the technical side or the technology side of entrepreneurship and the opportunities that Malaysia has, because people always have this downside opinion on not enough opportunities in Malaysia, but actually they do not see the opportunities. And I think that this is what will come out from today's session as one of the pointers to be discussed. I leave it to you all to have a good session, and I want to wish the APU audience a wonderful time this next 1 hour. Thank you again, Mr. Gopi, for coming on board. Yeah. Thank you, Mira, and over to you, Mira, for today's session. Thank you so much.
Prof, thank you very much for having me on board as well. Appreciate that.
Okay, thank you so much, Prof. Vinesh, and a warm welcome to Mr. Gopi. Hi, Mr. Gopi, welcome. And hi, Gopi. It's a really an exciting day for us here, and we're very, very happy to have you on board today. And thank you so much for making time for this. Now, I just want to quickly acknowledge everyone who's here today. Hi, everybody. Welcome. And our topic for today, which is really going to be very, very interesting. We're going to be talking about challenges and opportunities in tech entrepreneurship. I'm Ms. Mira Iswaran, your common face at APU. I do a lot of sessions with on different areas, different topics. I'm from the School of Accounting and Finance, Gopi. So we have some common areas, and I see a lot of that in your profile. So Gopi, you have a vast and really, really good experience. I've done my homework. I've been doing some reading the past couple of days, and I've been seeing lots and lots of interesting stuff coming around, a lot of statements that you have made, a lot of articles that you have quoted stuff. So I'm very excited to build on this. And firstly, I would like to just find out a little bit more about yourself. Tell us how you started off your education, your career, and your personal background. Go ahead, take it away.
Thanks, Mira, and thanks for all the kind words. Thank you very much. So my name is Gopi Ganesalingam. I'm from PJ. I studied in LaSalle PJ, and I did finance later in the US. I graduated with a degree in finance. I've always wanted to be a lawyer, and I tried very hard to do law after I studied, but circumstances were such that we couldn't afford it, and so I started working. My very first job was I was a factory accountant at Matsushita TV in 1989. We had the Look East policy, and we had heavy investments from Japan. So Matsushita set up their global plant here, and my first job was as a factory accountant. I was there for 2 years, and then I found a big break, and I went on to a career that I really wanted. I worked for American Express. I did finance there for 7 to 8 years. And on my 8th year, I think I got posted to Sydney to look at risk management at a regional level, Asia Pacific level. And that was also the time when the telco bubble burst, and everyone was getting into telco. And there was a lot of focus on telco. I was lucky. I was fortunate. I got a job with Lucent Technologies, which was the largest telco vendor in the world at that time. They had, thanks to the MSc, which currently is now, coincidentally, I work for Mdec, and Mdec is, running the MSc program. Thanks to the MSc, we had a lot of the regional telco boys here in KL, in Malaysia. So I had that right for 8 years in the telco field. So 4 years with Lucent, 4 years with Telstra in Australia. I decided then to embark. I wanted to come back to Malaysia very badly. I decided to embark on entrepreneurship at the age of 42. For many, it's very old. For me, it was something very new, and for my family, it was even more, because none of us were entrepreneurs in the family. So I got involved with a company called Salesforce.com at a very early age. There were 4 people in Singapore looking at the Asia Pacific region. I took a bold move to set up my own company and bring Salesforce.com into Malaysia. That was 2007. And it was a technology that nobody had heard of, but today everybody knows cloud. At that time, not even cloud, it was called on demand. So I had to work really hard to try and convince people to use it. And I was very lucky. My first 3 clients were Malaysia Airlines, Celcom, and Mdec. And then I was very unlucky after that because nobody else took it on after that. So it was a struggle till 2011, and then the tide turned, and then business started picking up. In 2014, we restructured the company. I became a minority shareholder, and that's when I was not doing anything much in Lava. And I had this call from Mdec to say, "Can you come and do national service? We're looking at an entrepreneur who can work with the industry and understand who these companies are that we have built in the ecosystem that Mdec has created. Who these companies are that can be global players." I took on the challenge in 2015, so that role that I took on in 2015 has evolved and become what I am today, is the Chief Digital Industry Officer, which means that I look after the entire tech ecosystem, which would involve corporates, which would involve VCs, would involve companies, entrepreneurs, would involve all the different tech sectors, the fourth IR, the emerging tech, the disruptors, and I'm enjoying it. So that's me from a professional background. Now you asked me about my personal background. I'm married to a lady called Selvi, and she works for Veolia. And I've got 3 kids. Lavanya from APU, who graduated from APU 2 years ago. She's now in DG. Then I've got a daughter called Shivani. She's doing a dentistry. And I've got a son called Vishal, who is in Form 4, year 9, year 10, I'm not sure. Yeah. So that's me from a personal side.
That's some amazing sharing there, Gopi. It's really nice that you have progressed and you've had really a vast experience, and you come from many different parts, different exposure, and you're also an entrepreneur yourself. Now I'm just going to get on to talking about entrepreneurship. Now we have started Project Enterprise at APU about 8 months ago, and we've been talking a lot about entrepreneurship. We've been doing a lot of stuff on entrepreneurship, but today's the first time that I'm going to bring the word tech into entrepreneurship. And I do know that you have mentioned a little bit just now. Can you tell us that how does tech fit in, and entrepreneurship, being how it is, it's something which is very flexible. It's something which is like a moving target. How do we bring tech into it? Is tech an evolution of entrepreneurship? Are we looking at next level stuff, or how would you put it?
Actually, that's a very loaded question. It's a very intertwined question. It's, how do I say it? So I'm going to separate it, right? I'm going to
Yeah, please
separate tech
break it
and,
down. Please
yeah,
break it
I'll
down.
break it down. Tech is everything today. Tech is in every brick and mortar. As there's tech. If you look at anything that you do, if you are in hospital, there's tech in the hospital. If you're building a building, there's tech in there. Everything has gone tech and everything has gone digital, right? And digital is the economy. If you really look at the economy today, everything is about digital. Thanks to COVID, the acceleration, innovation, the acceleration, execution, it all went. Some people, McKinsey said, 5 years forecast became in 10. We achieved 5 years forecast in 10 months. So that's the speed innovation is taking place. There's a speed technology is coming in, digital is coming in. Entrepreneurship on the other, so it cuts across. Tech cuts across anything that you do. So tech's a very powerful, fully loaded word, right? Then you talk
Yep.
about entrepreneurship. Entrepreneurship for many people is running a business. But for me, I think entrepreneurship is thinking right. It's about being bold. It's about making mistakes, but you're able to correct it very fast. It's about taking chances. It's about connecting. It's about collaborating. It's about partnering. That's entrepreneurial mindset. You don't need to be a businessman. You don't need entrepreneur, but you need the entrepreneurial mindset. I tell my team all the time. I tell my team, have an entrepreneurial mindset. And what that really means is, whatever you do, try and maximize and leverage on people, on organization. Don't recreate the wheel, because that'll save you cost. More importantly, that'll save you time to go to market. Be entrepreneurial. Try certain things, but try it small. If it works, scale it up. If it doesn't work, fail fast and get out and do something else. So that's entrepreneurial mindset. It's about being able to identify opportunities. Like, some people see things as a problem. Some people see things problem is an opportunity, right? So it is how you think, how you go to create solutions for problems that you see. For a lot of companies, when you sell products, they don't even know that they have a problem. It's a smart sales guy, and sales doesn't necessarily sales is fantastic, because a good sales guy will tell you problems that you don't have and subtly sell you the solution. So that's, for to me, that's also entrepreneurial, right? It's making business out of nothing and adding value to it. So to me, entrepreneurial tech or tech entrepreneur, whatever you said just now, has to be separated. It's a fully loaded question. And I think what APU is doing currently, bringing entrepreneurial mindset into the campus thinking is fantastic. I think more universities should do this, because in the real world, it's the soft skill that makes you popular. It's a soft skill that makes you successful. It's a soft skill that the ability for you to mingle, the ability for you to articulate your thoughts, the ability for you to sell your ideas, the ability for you to work with the different kinds of people, that will make you successful. So I think the I'm gonna get some water.
Go ahead.
So I think what APU is setting out to do and bringing this entrepreneurial mindset into campus is amazing. I think that is the right thing to do. It's no point getting all A's, or it's no point going to Harvard and coming out, and then you're only academic in the real world, right? So you really need to be an entrepreneur. Even if you're not an entrepreneur, you need to have that mindset when you work.
Yeah, that's great, Gopi. And since we're talking about that, with things changing around us, with tech adoption, with how things are evolving, okay, how we work, how we actually carry out our tasks, every
Yep.
other industry is getting disrupted now. So we were talking about you spoke a little bit about things that we need to do. A's are not everything, and what sort of competencies and soft skills do you think that we should build into the younger generation, especially today? How do you address this?
So you see, the younger generation, right? They think very differently. Where do I stand? I'm in the Gen Y, I think. Then you got the Z, you got the millennials,
Yes.
and then you got the little babies who are being born now, right?
Yep.
And all of us think differently, right? So I think it's about reinventing yourself. You have to keep reinventing yourself. I think I have personally reinvented myself 4 to 5 times in my career, and reinventing myself and adapting to, and it's not easy. It's very, very tough adapting to the younger generation. Then you look at the younger generation, the way they think, the way they do things, the way they're exposed to is very different. So if you look at the lifestyle today, digital is all about lifestyle. All right. And I look at my own kids. Grab, the grab food, going out. You don't need to own a car anymore, but you can just move from one place to another place. You can order food. It's like room service right now. You just press some buttons and the food arrives. So the entire lifestyle has changed. So I think, to answer your question, disruption is the order of the day. Grab disrupted the taxi service. Then Grab disrupted the delivery service. Then Grab disrupted the restaurants. But today, there are other companies disrupting Grab, making it even better. So disruption is the order of the day. So I think for the younger generation, I would say be able to pivot. Don't have a fixed mindset. Things are not going to be the same for too long. It'll keep changing. Change is the only constant we have. So you have to have a mindset that's able to adopt the situations, that's able to make you see things that others don't really see it fast enough. So the faster you see these things, the faster you see change, the faster you see opportunities, the higher you'll go in your career. Soft skills are the other one. Teamwork is the other one. Teamwork today, because of technology, everything's about teamwork. It's just not one person trying to do the job, but the entire team that does it, and not in one location. They could be anywhere in the globe, all sitting down through a platform trying to get things done. Right? So you have sometimes you can have the best brains from any part of the world working on one project. So dynamics has changed so much. I'm now sitting in a hotel room, in a study room upstairs, taking a break from a board meeting downstairs to talk to you who is an APU, and you could be, and the audience can be from anywhere in the world, right? And it cost me nothing, zero. I didn't even get into a car and park or what, nothing, right? So lifestyle has changed. This is customer experience. This is life experience has changed.
That's wonderful, Gopi, and I really like the part that we're moving, and we have to build on fundamentals. We focus on fundamentals, and then we grow along with it, and we evolve. We stay relevant. Okay, we keep ourselves abreast with changes. Look at our surroundings. That's really a good thing. Now, Gopi, I want to move on to talking about what do you do in Mdec, and how do we support entrepreneurs, within your role.
Sure. So Mdec, Malaysia Digital Economy Corporation, the word says it all. It's about the digital economy. And we all know the digital economy is the economy. Today, Malaysia's digital economy, it's about 22% of the GDP. It's not small, it's big. Mdec has been tasked to champion and lead the digital economy. And we do this in many, many ways. We touch the nation in many ways. We have one division looking at skills, talent, right? Because to ensure the digital economy moves forward, you need to have the right talent in place. And because technology is moving so fast, you need to upskill and reskill talent very quickly. So that's one division Mdec runs as talent and reskilling, upskilling initiatives. Then you're talking about the investments. We have foreign direct investments coming through, and in the last 20 over years, we had a lot of ICT investments, GBS investments, business services investment. But that's all changing. Companies today are becoming they're coming. Digital companies are coming up, and they're not very big in manpower size. They're small, like Zoom, for example. It's small, but everybody knows. So you don't need a big workforce, but they're very niche, right? How do you then bring these companies to come into Malaysia to invest in our country and to use Malaysia as the stepping stone into the other parts of the world? So that's a company. There's a division within Mdec that looks at digital investments. Then you have the industry. The industry, by and large, the entrepreneurs, are the budding entrepreneurs, the innovators, the disruptors. And that's the area that I come from. So we look at the industry. We build ecosystems for Malaysia, tech ecosystems for Malaysia. So I have a team of people who are just cutting across all different tech sectors, that look at how we could bring together the tech ecosystem. So we do that in many ways. So to simplify it, we have 7 pillars that we look at. The first pillar is starting to look at we have an initiative called the Malaysia Digital Hub. Now, what this means is we looked at Silicon Valley and we looked at why Silicon Valley worked. Then we realized you can never replicate Silicon Valley, not even in the US. It happened by accident. It happened because entrepreneurs were forward-looking. Entrepreneurs were sharing their thoughts. Entrepreneurs coached people. Entrepreneurs invested in people, right? So that mindset we brought back, and we created this digital hub concept where we work. Digital hubs are run by private enterprises, but we work with the private enterprises to ensure that these co-working spaces had the elements of talent development, had the elements of funding VCs, had the elements of tech, had the elements of entrepreneurship in this. And then they had a very nice co-working space, because today's generation, they like the Starbucks concept, right? So they had this nice environment, and then Mdec would come in and certify it as a digital hub. Currently, we have 22 digital hubs in Malaysia, mostly in Klang Valley, and we're going to be opening up hubs in Ipoh, a little more in Penang, Kuching, Kota Kinabalu, Johor, Melaka, for 2022. These hubs, currently, the 22 hubs hold about 632 startups. This is how Mdec touches these startups. We look at some of these startups, we touch them softly, we know who they are, and then we watch them. The moment they're good, they're able to raise money where we facilitate, then they're on our radar. And then we groom them. These are the disruptors that are coming up. So lately, you'll hear a lot of stories about disruptors, startups raising money. Quite a few of them, largely many of them, Mdec's behind, Mdec orchestrating it, right? So that is how we're building the ecosystem. The ecosystem is very important. The tech ecosystem is very important for any country. So we start there, we nurture them, and then they become scale-ups. Scale-ups are companies that are going from Series A, maybe. I'm getting a bit technical. So when companies, when they have a business model that's working, they've raised money to work the business model out, and they know it's working in 1 or 2 countries, they want to go global, then that's what they call a scale-up. They go for Series B, Series C funding. So then we look at these companies that are going through these series, and that is how we groom. So our ultimate objective is to build Malaysian global companies from here, right from here, from this ecosystem. We don't want them to be uprooted to go to another country, right? We want them to all be here. Secondly, we want other companies to come and do their startup from Malaysia, right? So we have a program called Malaysia Tech-Entrepreneur Path. I think if you have foreign students here in the university, I think they should hear this carefully. We have this Malaysia Tech-Entrepreneur Path, where we encourage entrepreneurs to come from all over the world and set up their business here in Malaysia, and from here look into ASEAN as your first overseas expansion, because the ASEAN market is one of the fastest growing in the world. So how do you then work it out from Malaysia? So we work with these companies, right, under the Malaysia Tech Entrepreneur Path. So that's by and large what the startup ecosystem looks like here in KL. But I'm just giving you a tip of the iceberg. It's very deep in.
Definitely. Gopi, how does Mdec reach out to the entire ecosystem? What sort of efforts do you guys do? Like, do you do sessions? How do you bring out these things and share it out with the open?
So gone are the days of emails. Gone are the days of telephone calls. Of course, gone are the days of fax. The generation won't even know what's a fax machine, right? So follow us on social media. Follow Mdec on social media. We are on Twitter. We're on LinkedIn, we're on Facebook, we're on Instagram, we're on TikTok. So follow us on TikTok, follow us in all the social media channels. You'll see all our programs. You'll see what we're doing. You can follow me as well. I do share quite a lot on my social media channels. And that's how we are now reaching out to the industry.
That's brilliant.
Plus, we have a website, www.mdec.my. All our programs are all there. So just one website, go in there, you will see everything properly articulated You can navigate your way in very quickly.
Amazing, amazing. Now, we spoke about Mdec. Now, this ecosystem that you're creating, I'm just gonna take it next level. How do you find yourselves and also Mdec as at a larger picture? Looking at larger aspects of it. Yeah. With Magic and Cradle and other, those who are also promoting similar areas. Do you fit? Do you guys collaborate and do stuff together?
Definitely, the answer is definitely. Actually, we're all friends.
Definitely.
One phone call, we can have a coffee together. So I don't think there is a problem of not wanting to collaborate or not collaborating. We are collaborating. I think we are all like-minded people who are trying
Yep.
to champion the ecosystem for Malaysia. And we have our own, what I would say, our own niche that we are looking at, and we're working on those towards those niche. If you look at what Magic does, and if you look at what Mdec does, it complements. You look
Yeah.
at the very, very early ideation stage. Then once you're already on a commercial model and you're looking at trying to scale up, then you come to Mdec. Then if you're looking at funding, you've got Mdec, you've got Cradle. So I think it's there, but maybe I'll take your point. Maybe the storytelling has to be better. I think we need to have better storytelling as a country on what we're doing in this ecosystem play.
Yeah, definitely. And it's nice to see that efforts are there to complement and as I can see this Gopi with the efforts that we've been putting in and the the efforts that we have taken actually with our students right now with Startup Weekend and Idea Accelerator. I see these things coming through, and there's a lot of awareness that is slowly being picked up. Yeah, so that's wonderful. Now, I would like to ask you now, Gopi, about mentoring. Now, we've got ideas, a lot of ideas. When students come up, pitch. There are a lot of students here today watching us. The lecturing team who are also we are also building a mentoring, like a team here within APU. Yeah, within academic and also with they liaise with external industry people. So it's like a collaboration between academia and industry when we mentor. Yeah. What sort of advice or would you actually give out to mentoring, and how do we accept and how do we take ideas when a student pitch ideas? What sort of approach, overall approach, would you head at?
Again, I will quite a loaded question again. The word mentor, I think, is a very important word. I
Yeah.
think all of us need mentors in our lives, right? We need mentors for different reasons. Um, Even the president of the United States has a mentor because we can't see certain things ourselves. We need other people to tell us. I think so. Mentoring is something that MDEC takes very seriously. Mentoring we have a Mentor Plus program. A Mentor Plus program are for entrepreneurs who are trying to build a business. Some of them are successful, yet they need a mentor. It can be in many areas. It could be in the area of public speaking. It could be in the area of culture, embedding a certain culture for your company. It could be on innovation of a product. You need mentors. So everyone has a mentor, and mentors change as you progress in life. So as a student, you need a mentor for a different reason, right? A student, you want probably a coach who teaches you how to multitask, and then work-life balance. You have so many things. Some of the students are probably working part-time in restaurants, in cafes, and trying to balance life, and they're trying to pay their bills. So you need mentors to be able to strengthen yourself, to see things that you're not possibly seeing. So mentorship, I think, is a lifelong need, and they change according to the journey you have taken. So to answer your question, mentors are very important. Mentorship in universities, particularly, are very important. When I went to university, I had a mentor, but I never thought that person was the mentor because we never used those words before. And, when I went to university, we never used the word. We used to use the word coach, right? So I had a coach. He was a good friend. He was 10 years older to me. But without that coach, I think I would have found it very difficult to have gone through my university life, because there were subjects that I struggled with. There were subjects I breezed through, and so this coach used to help me out quite a lot. So, and then when you come to the real working life, you have different mentors for different reasons, right? So I think you need to look at mentorship as something that all of us must have, and we must keep constantly check on our mentors whether we have the right mentor for the right time. I don't know whether I've answered that question.
Yeah, you did, definitely. Yeah. And when as a I'm sure you have mentored Gopi. Can you share a mentoring experience? I would like to hear about a mentoring experience that you had, like how you felt when an idea was pitched to you.
So so I have a practice where I talk to my team. I talk to the industry a lot. I think when I do talk to the industry a lot, I actually listen. I'm not talking, and the reason why I'm listening is I know I don't know everything. I know very little, but the ideas that come out from people who are looking at certain problems from a different perspective, it's very interesting, and that's where you pick up ideas from. So I also tell my team at Mdec, and even in the past, when I was running my own company, Lava Protocols, is ideas have to come out. You need to have a platform where everyone's free to express themselves without feeling shy, without feeling scared, right? Everyone has to express themselves, and that's where the best ideas come out, and that's where you work as a group. You And again, the ideas can probably will fail, but doesn't matter. You've tried, you've asked people to come up, no. And also when you have people from different backgrounds, different races, good gender diversity, good race diversity, the ideas are even better. So that is why I believe that the programs that MDEC is set out to do, bringing in entrepreneurs from overseas, mixing them with the local entrepreneurs, bringing out ideas, these are all programs that will improve the ecosystem a lot, because ideation, entrepreneurship, these are all things that will drive the ecosystem. When the ecosystem is thriving and we develop these big, large companies that create so many good jobs, that would then have the spillover effect of the job creation market, right?
Definitely. So, Gopi, I'm just thinking, how young should we start our entrepreneurial mindset? Whether in uni or whether I should have started it in school. Would you like to say something about that?
No, I think there's no age when you start, when you stop. I think it's never too early to start. It's never too late to start. I think actually most of us who, at least in my generation, when we go say to the pasar malam, right, and we negotiate, right, all of us in our generation knew how to negotiate. I don't know the current generation whether they negotiate or not, but we all knew how to negotiate. So I don't think there's any age for you to be entrepreneurial in your thinking. I see kids sometimes are very entrepreneurial. Kids, they don't even know they're entrepreneurial. They're actually negotiating with you. They're actually compromising with you. They're actually leading you on to something that they want. And you make the decision that they actually want. So that's a kind of mindset that's very interesting to watch. And I kind of encourage that mindset. I think that's survival.
Yeah, definitely. That's some really good skill. And I'm going to quote something from an article actually, because this really
My article.
captured my. Yeah. It was written about you. Yeah. It captured my attention. You mentioned that it's like a God sent mission for you to serve the nation now. It's a calling for you in your role. So, and you're very happy and excited to go to work. Gopi. That's wonderful to read actually. That it's motivating for you to start your day every day. So tell us what makes you happy in this situation and position that you're in.
Okay, firstly, I can't remember the article, but but it must be true because I do believe in it. I am very happy with my job. I love my job. I've loved every job that I've got. Even in the most difficult times, I've loved my job. Most importantly, I like it because of the people, the team that I've built. I've built very good teams in the past and now currently here in Mdec. And it's a team that makes me tick. It's the team that um, makes me happy. That passion is all about teamwork, and I think that's what I've never regretted waking up in the morning to come to work. I've always enjoyed every minute of the day, and I think that's yeah. I think it's the team. I will give the credit to the team. They are the ones who are working hard. They are the ones who are putting things together. They are the ones running the project. They are the ones doing the cost savings. So every company that I've gone to, I think I've been very lucky that I've always inherited a good team.
That's amazing. Yeah, teamwork is really important.
I think team is everything. It's not us, it's the team.
Yeah, we just can't do things in silos anymore. It has to be, integration is important. I totally agree about that. Yeah, we do have some questions coming in, Gopi, and we're going to project them shortly. Now, I see a lot of opportunity in Malaysia. We have a lot of opportunity, and we have a question actually on that, which was just shown by.
I read the question. I can answer it.
Yeah. So go ahead, Gopi.
In 5 years, I think 5 years is too far ahead to look at technology. Now they say even 2 years is too long. But I can tell you something about AI tech. Everything is about AI. AI is in everything. I think AI is the biggest game changer. I think AI is everything. I think soon we will be told what to do. We will. It's already reading our minds because it's able to follow the pattern of our whatever we do. It follows the pattern, and AI is going to be everything, every single thing that we do. It's scary, but I think AI it's big. It's big, and it's in everything that we do. Robotics, you're talking about machine learning, you're talking about Internet of Things, the gadgets that you wear, the gadgets are connected, the gadget is connected to your car is connected to Google is connected to your home, to your office, to everything. If you really look at the Internet of Things, you are in a connected world, and in some ways it's good, in some ways it's bad, right? So and all of that runs on AI. You don't even know you're connected. Right now, all our gadgets are connected. Then the cars become a computer. Then it's connected to the car. Then your gym, because of the I was going to say watch, because of the Fitbit, you're connected to your gym. Everything is connected. They connected. Then if you have kids, you're connected to kids, and that's connected. It's just a connected world, and it's all run by AI.
You said something about being scary earlier about all this. So what is your concern on that, Gopi?
No, it's just that when everything is connected, it's a transparent world, right? Everybody knows everything about you. Is that what you really want? Have you lost your identity? Everybody knows everything. A lot of people say that social media is bad. Yeah, social media is bad if you do not know how to use it. But if you use it cleverly and you know what to say, what not to say, I think social media is an advantage. You know, and we all become publishers. Those days we only can go to a publisher and publish our thoughts. But today, because of social media, we're able to publish our thought, we're able to share, we're able to give opinions, but use it wisely.
Yeah, definitely. So we have more questions coming in actually, Gopi, some interesting ones. So we have one from Nicholas here. So talking about age, how old do you think we should be to be mature enough to actually make practical steps in order to achieve what we have in mind?
I don't know whether I read that question properly, but I think what Nicholas is trying to ask is he must be a student
Yep.
and he's probably in the university. He wants to know when is it the right time to, probably he has got some sort of a entrepreneur, he's got some sort of an idea in mind, and when does he really want to go and put it to good use. I think I would say don't wait. Why can't, if that is what I'm reading here, if that is the case, why wait? Try it, multitask. You never know, because a lot of ideas were born in college, and that's why a lot of the good successful entrepreneurs dropped out of college, because they could see things faster than what they're going through in school. I'm not telling you to drop off, Nicholas, but try it. There are many ways to look at it. So I think that's what he's trying to say. When's the right time to achieve what you have in mind? If he wants to be an entrepreneur, I think there's no age stopping him.
Amazing. I think we have another question from the same individual talking about mentorship. Yeah, so also about the mentor, are there any requirements to join the program, and is it free of charge, or do we have to offer some equity or something in return for the mentorship provided?
Yeah, I think it's all of the above. So we don't make any money out of the Mentor Plus programs. Mdec doesn't make money, but it depends on the mentor himself or herself. Quite a lot of them do it for free, but there's some who actually spend a lot of time creating a business model for you, who actually help you shape the business model. Sometimes they help you raise money, and some of these mentors may ask for something in return. So it's a willing buyer, willing seller.
Nice. So we still have some coming on. Okay, so sir, as an entrepreneur, what is the most important thing you do in your company as a leader? Okay, CEO. Yes.
I think that's a nice question. I like this question because I in a company I don't see it as ranks. I see it as a flat organization. I think all of us are the same rank. We're all the same. I just happen to have a little bit more responsibility because I have to shoulder the responsibility in terms of if something goes wrong, then the buck stops with me. Otherwise, I think it's a flat organization. Everybody's equal. We're all working towards one common goal, and the only way to make it happen is to work together.
Nicely put. Thank you so much. And moving on, we have the next question. Out of curiosity, how well is the IoT system in Malaysia currently regarding our well-known network system, and maybe how mature the market is?
How mature the market? I would just say that, the AI, IoT, I think they're all in every part of the world. They're all working. It's all getting together now, right? It's new. It's changing so fast. And I think Malaysia has started. I think we have we're not lagging behind. Neither are we far ahead. But I think what's important is there's a lot of room for innovation. There's a lot of room for new players. There's a lot of room for people who want to take a niche position, and that's what I'm seeing in the marketplace. There are a lot of IoT companies coming in niche, so it's becoming very niche. Sensors becoming very niche in sensors, and even in sensors, very niche. Are you in agri-tech? Are you in smart building? Are you in traffic lights? Right. So I think it's going in very niche already, which means that the market is maturing. Which means entrepreneurs are looking at very niche. I mean, entrepreneurs are getting deep into IoT. So I would say, yeah, it's go for it.
Nice. So what do you think is the most important skill needed by young generations nowadays? Most important skill?
I think what is important, and I see it lacking, is storytelling. I think the younger generation is a lot to do with texting. They're always texting. They prefer to text than to talk. And I think we all need, if you look at TEDx, I hope everyone knows TEDx, and you see how people articulate, how young university kids articulate their thoughts, their ideas, and they're able to talk, they're able to take tough questions, they're able to convince you, because that is very important as you grow older, in your career, when you're an entrepreneur, when you're selling a product, when you get into market access, when you're trying to raise money, articulating and able to be able to story tell is very important. You must be able to tell your story. This is an elevator pitch. What's an elevator pitch? That means you must be able to get the interest of the person in the elevator from floor 1, maybe is to floor 10. In that 10 flaws, you must be able to get his interest. So it's a 5-minute pitch or a 10-minute pitch that is so important, very powerful, to maybe a 5-minute pitch, maybe to a 30-minute pitch, maybe to a 1-hour pitch, right? Today we have a 1-hour talk session, but it's that storytelling ability that I see lacking in today's younger generation.
Definitely.
And I think as a country, we lack it as well. As Malaysia, I think we don't tell our story properly. It's disjointed.
Definitely. Yeah. So yeah, totally agree on that. So next one is generally what would be regarded as the greatest challenge when you're trying to become a tech entrepreneur?
I think for me, there are many great challenges that I encountered. Of course, money is the biggest. It is. I think you need a mentor, because sometimes you don't see things properly. You are so engrossed, so glued on to what you want to do, that you're not able to see flaws. And I think the greatest challenge is to find a great mentor who's honest with you, who's able to tell you and guide you to the right direction. I think if you have the right mentor, you'll make less mistakes, and so it's less expensive, and you probably would get onto the right path much, much faster.
Awesome. Next one, as a fresh graduate, do you recommend us to start our own business or find a job first? This is funny.
It's a tough one. It's actually,
Yeah,
I would say it is a very individual, it's a very tough one, because there are a lot of fresh graduates who are doing well, but there are a lot of fresh graduates who went into business and who didn't do well. For me personally, I say work first, get some experience, understand how the working life is, understand what really takes in your working life, get some discipline, get some exposure in processes, operations, finance. Make sure you have enough money in your bank account, unless you come from a family that's able to give you that sort of a loan.
yeah. I agree on that, Gopi, because exposure definitely helps. When you start off, you really thrown at the deep end. Especially with the experience that I had. You just really get down to things, and it makes you a lot tougher. You get a couple of years experience. So I think that's definitely a good thing to do. Yeah. So we still have more coming in. What is the risk and problems that you face in tech entrepreneurship? Risk and problems.
Yeah, so always there are risks, there are always problems. It's whether you identify the risk. So there are lots of problems. Problems could be with your competitor. Problems could be with your business model. Maybe it's not the right fit for the right market. It could be problems with talent. Maybe you can't find the right skill set. You will have so many problems. So entrepreneurship, it's never easy. If you look at all the successful entrepreneurs, you ask them, they will tell you they went through hell to get to where they are. And entrepreneurship is all about looking at problems, but looking at opportunities. There are two types of people. There are two types of people you will see. One is whatever you give them, they will see problems in that. Whatever you give them, you'll see problems. But I like to work with people. When you give them something, they say, "Okay, let me try and sort this out." That's the kind of attitude I like to have. So, and that's the kind of people I actually try and employ as well, is people who find solutions rather than people who identify problems, because we know what the problems are. Don't tell me what the problems are. Tell me what the solutions are, right? And you come and tell me the problems, I will tell you even more problems. So it is the attitude that problems will definitely be there. It'll never go away, no matter how big you are. But it's how you come around it, right? We all know Air Asia, Tony Fernandez. Look at the problems he's going through, and look at how he's trying to reinvent himself. So, how big you are, how rich you are, how powerful you are, you will have problems. It's how you come out of it, and that'll not be the last one that you have.
Spot on that would be really, yeah.
Oh,
Dash has a question. Yeah, so EIR has posted a question. Hi Dash. So so what are your views?
I think it's a good question. Thank you, Dash. I think it's a very good question. Like I said in the beginning of the session, My job is at Mdec is to build a vibrant ecosystem, a tech ecosystem that looks at startups, that look at disruptors, you scale them up right up to the unicorn level. Now, the My Digital Blueprint has got an ambition of having 5 unicorns here in Malaysia. We have one already. We have one more that we are bringing in from another country. I'm very confident that by we will have that 5 that the government has put out in My Digital, and I think we probably have more if we work hard, we work smart. I think that Malaysia would be able to churn out those unicorns that has been put in My Digital. Any other ecosystem setting such targets? I don't know whether ecosystems in Malaysia, but I think My Digital encompasses the entire ecosystem of Malaysia for Malaysia. And if that is the case, I think My Digital Blueprint would be the authority that we should all follow.
Nice.
I would like to think that our ecosystem is vibrant. I had a debate a few months ago with a company in Silicon Valley that looks at ecosystems, and it was a nice one because they debated to say that Grab is a Malaysian unicorn, and I said why? I thought Singaporean. No, it was born in Malaysia, it was bred in Malaysia. They only moved to Singapore much later. So the argument was the Malaysian ecosystem is vibrant. It has got enough to innovate for unicorns to be born here. And currently we have Kasem, which is a unicorn from Malaysia, and the division that I lead, we are working on with other companies that can be potentially a unicorn. So that's the ecosystem that we are creating.
Nice. Yeah, really good. And yeah, okay. So we have the next
I have
question.
a question from Rachel on the chat. Are you reading it?
Okay, going ahead with that. We can leave that. Let's look at the one on the screen.
Okay.
So what is the mindset to be a tech entrepreneur which will make you more successful? Mindset.
Be positive. Right? I believe in energy. I think if you're positive, you do things positively, always smile at hardship and keep rocking. I think that is how you attract positive energy. You attract positive people, and it has worked for me. That's my mantra. Just stay positive. You will have a lot of difficulties, but stay positive.
Awesome. So when talking about positivity, one of the questions that actually came through was about how do we deal with negativity among peers in the office, or where things that actually put you off in the way that you do things. How do we deal with that?
That's an important thing to deal with. When my team hires people, I always tell them before you say okay, I like to talk to them for 5 minutes. There's only one thing I look at. It's the culture, the mindset. I try and look for positive-minded people. That's the only thing I look at. The rest of it, I say, team, you can decide whom you want to hire, but that's the only thing I look at. And even in the team, if anybody becomes negative, I nip it in the bud. Pull them up. I say, look, you're becoming toxic. Please change, right? Please change, and that's the time I have that hard talk, and I can have hard talk, and no matter who the person is, he or she, I will say change. You're becoming toxic because only requires one toxic person to ruin the whole thing, to ruin the whole culture that you are trying to create.
Totally. Yeah, and we still have more coming in. Do you have any great books to recommend to us? Good knowledge.
Yeah, I think Good to Great is a good book. I read it when I was feeling a little down, and how to scale companies. Good to Great is probably a book I would recommend. Of course, there are books that I read. I'm not an avid reader, but there are books that I read that kept me on. I read more on what do you call shorter articles. But lately I've been watching a lot of TEDx videos that have given me a lot of insights on mental health, how to think. I look at how they talk. I think that also it helps me a lot.
Yep. I totally agree. I watch a lot of TEDx sessions as well. I think it's very inspirational, and it gives you a lot of angles, different perspectives of things. Yes, amazing. Um, how do you build a great team around you when you are just thinking of getting started? You know, yeah.
It's
Hashtag.
about you, brother. It's about the energy you portray, the storytelling you can do, the storytelling you're able to, the stories you're able to articulate to whoever you're trying to bring on board because you have this great idea or you're just starting a company. It's all about you, Bernard. So you need to show you're positive, you're confident, you know what you're doing, and listen to your team as well, because they will have a lot of ideas. So don't shut them off, but listen to you to the team as well.
Awesome. Yeah. So yeah, Gopi. So we're heading down to like we're 3 minutes into 3:30. I would really like to find out. How did you perceive the pandemic? I mean, how did you deal with things during the pandemic?
So
And
for
which
us, yeah, sure. For us, so there are two parts of it. One is the office side. So it was a shocker when everything went down, but we started working online, and for 7 days a week, twice a day, we were online as a team. And because we were in charge of the industry was going haywire, right? And they were, then we realized that startup industry has got only 1 month or at the maximum 2 months of money runway to be alive. And so that was the first thing that we did. The team put together a quick Google form, and within 48 hours, we were able to send out a Google form to all the startups to see who's looking for money. We got the answer. There were 252 companies, I think, asking for about 240 over billion US dollars. And we were able to take that Google form, make sense out of it. We connected to 102 VCs via a VC in Singapore, and we had 1 out of 3. Fast track after one and a half years, we had 1 out of 3 raised money. We raised more than 100 million, 120 million US for these companies. So that showed us the resilience that the team has got. You have gone into lockdown and you're not used to the lockdown. This is the first lockdown, March 18, 2020. You can't even get out of the house, and yet you can do things like this. So that tells you the dynamic of the team. So that is how we got started. Then on a personal side of things, it's unique because suddenly all of us are together at home. I'm sitting next to my son who is in school, and I'm sitting next to him. I'm in the office, so that was very. And then you got all the children, your wife, everyone working. Uh, first 1 week it's something to get used to, but today it's a norm. But yeah, and we adjusted. So what I'm trying to say is, human beings, we adjust very fast and very well. Throw us in the deep end and we'll survive. And the pandemic showed us that we can do it.
that definitely, I totally agree, and it really centers on to a different level of dealing with things, and every role, every industry, every position, whether you're even a stay-at-home mom. So in fact, you would have experienced something different with everyone suddenly being around you. So I think it's amazing. Really, Gopi, the sharing was mind blowing. I really had a good chat, and I learned a lot personally, and I'm sure the audience today had gathered a lot of new stuff, and we'll be able to grow further on this. So, some final words for the students, the teaching fraternity, and anyone who's here today, Gopi, everyone and anyone. Uh, would you
I
like to?
think first of all, my final words would be, um, I think we need to embrace disruption and change. Things will not be the same for too long. It will keep changing from now on. Who knows? Maybe we don't even need a campus, but we need education. So how do you embrace that? I think education itself has to be different, not just textbooks. That's a lot of real life situations out there. I personally feel the old-fashioned education has to go away. The new one has to come in, and in some form or fashion. Secondly, I would say that I want to thank APU for being so, for having this entrepreneurial mindset to bring this change in the thinking of the students. I want to thank you, Mira, Prof. I think Dash has done a good job in connecting the dots in the ecosystem. And I wish you all the very, very best. And I look forward to seeing APU out there on top of the ranks.
Thank you. Thank you for that, Gopi. So signing off, Mira. Thank you, Gopi. And we hope to see you again on further collaborations in the future.
Most definitely. All the best. Bye-bye.
Bye.